Hey YouTube, it's Earl, and tonight it's a wonderful night here in Louisiana. Let's see, the temperature is a nice 77 degrees outside. I'm just sitting on the back porch smoking some Until the End by Warped and drinking a nice, as we say in the South, we call anything that is a carbonated drink a Coca-Cola. Or, as my grandparents used to ask me from Mississippi, anytime I was over at their house, would you like a cold Coca-Cola? And that's what I grew up calling it. So anyway, out here enjoying the evening. But I thought I would share with you guys something that I got maybe a little over a week ago. And yeah, it's really something special to me. I think I told you last time I kind of did one of these videos, that my cousin who made me a logo, we were really best friends growing up. I think most weekends we were over each other's houses, and we went on vacation together whenever each other's families went on vacation. Well, his dad was a big pipe smoker, and my uncle Joe Mitch, he passed away several years ago. I think it's close to, if not 10 years ago, already at this point. Very kind and generous man. And you see that in his kids. And he was a character. And, one time we went fishing down in Toledo Bend, which Toledo Bend is a man-made lake that's right on the corner, right on the border of Louisiana and Texas. And my Uncle Joe Mitch used to love his boats. However, I think because I went with him in a boat so often as a kid is probably the reason why I'm afraid of boats today. It seemed like something always happened or came up when we were in a boat with Uncle Joe Mitch. So, but we went down fishing Toledo Bend in the first part of the morning. We went out fishing, and we went with the guide. We rode in his boat. And it was nice. We didn't catch much from what I remember, but it was a nice day out on the lake. Seems like it was a little overcast to me, with a little bit of wind. Well, we go in and have lunch. Uncle Joe Mitch says he wants to take his boat out. And so we're going to have two boats out in the water. Guide's taking his boat, and Uncle Joe Mitch is taking his, and my cousin Ted is going to ride with Uncle Joe Mitch. Well, again, I've been in the boat enough with Uncle Joe Mitch that I said, well, you know what? Let me ride with the guide. I'll be in his boat. And so that's what we did, and we went out a ways, found a little cove. We were fishing, been there a couple of minutes, a couple of casts. Not much happening, bites-wise. Of course, I never really remember catching fish with Uncle Joe Mitch anyway. But, not much going on. And all of a sudden I hear, oh, shit! We're sinking! Come from Uncle Joe Mitch. And then I hear the motor crank up and him go, drive, Ted, drive. And my cousin Ted, who I guess we were maybe 13 or 14, neither one of us were old enough to drive. Back then you could drive in Louisiana at the age of 15 is when you could get your driver's license, and we were a couple years younger than that. But so I see my Uncle Joe Mitch, my cousin Ted, and the boat just take off hauling out of the cove as they're trying to go fast enough for all the water to go to the back of the boat and drain out of the plug. At the same time, Uncle Joe Mitch is hanging out of the back of the boat because he had forgotten to put the plug in the boat. And so he's hanging out trying to get the plug in the boat. Well, now the guy goes, oh crap. They, that's a kid. He says, that's a kid driving that boat, and he doesn't know where the proper lanes are, because Toledo Bend, it's a man-made lake. And so it was at least partially forested at one point, and there are dead trees all over that lake just below the surface. It's part of what makes the fishing so good. A lot of places for fish to hide and attach things. So anyway, we go hauling off trying to catch them. Well, we come up on them too late. They were fine, but they were on the boat ramp, and they had left so quick they didn't even pull the trolling motor off the front of the boat. And my cousin Ted had driven the boat up onto the boat ramp to avoid them sinking. And so, yeah, we came up on it. Boat crushed the trolling motor underneath it, and yeah, it was quite the scene. Now, I just remember the details of the boat pulling away, what my Uncle Joe Mitch said, and the scene afterwards. I don't think there was much damage to the boat. I'm not sure. But my cousin Ted says my Uncle Joe Mitch was smoking this pipe that day. He's pretty certain of it. And he gave me this pipe. Like I said, my Uncle Joe Mitch was a big pipe smoker and has passed on a collection of pipes to my cousin Ted. And this is a, for those of you who know things, which I don't, and the light is not great. Excuse me while I get my phone out to light up the, because it's a beautiful little sandblast, and it's a GBD. Okay, but let me look at this. So for those of you who may know these things, it is a GBD, prehistoric, and it says made in London, England underneath, and then it looks to be a shape number 22, but I'm not on the shape charts for GBD. I don't find any 22s. I think I find a 122 and a 222. Either way, it's a billiard in the prehistoric line, sandblasted with, I'm guessing that's a brass inlay. Not completely certain here. The chamber's in really good shape. The top part here looks a little uneven. Don't know what that's about, or why it would be uneven, but it looks okay. But it doesn't have, as you can see, it has no stem. So, need to send that off to get a new stem made for that. But it was something that, to me is irreplaceable to my cousin. It's a pipe from his father's pipe collection. So I gave him some Frogmorton, since they're not making any more of that, and they're not making any more of these pipes. It's not an even trade. I got the better end of the deal. Not that we were trading, for even value. But, you know, makes you think through life a little bit. Whenever you have something that's special for someone who's passed on from this life to the next. How it's not so much about these things that matter, but the memories they contain, that they pass on and bring you connection to those who've gone before us. I miss that man. The big, loud, booming voice. And the way he loved you. Well, gang, I hope you enjoyed the story. And if you know anything about this pipe, leave me a comment. I'd love to know more about it as far as just manufacturer dates, all that kind of stuff. I'm guessing this is somewhere in the 70s or 80s when this pipe was made. My story would have been around 93, somewhere around there. Anyway, you guys, one other thing before I go. I just went to a funeral yesterday for a second cousin. It's my dad's cousin. I don't know what that makes her in relation to me. Maybe a second cousin or a first cousin once removed. Don't know. But she was a special lady, and she was also one of these characters. I think we've all got them, and I think we all are characters in one way, shape, or form. But one of the things in the last couple of videos, I've started signing off saying something that she would say every time I talked to her on the phone as we'd finish up. And whenever she was done talking to me, because that's always the way it was, she was ready to check out of the conversation, she'd go, "All right, well, I'll talk at you later, baby." And so you may notice that I end my videos now with, "All right, guys, talk at you later." And I will. See y'all soon. Talk at you later, baby.